exploring Warhammer 40k Orks by the Exploring series.
Orks.
Yes.
For many species in the Warhammer 40k universe, war is a grim necessity, a core aspect of their lives that must continue for their own survival. For orcs, however, spelled with a K, violence is closer to a religion, as practically every orc possesses an innate love for bloodshed.
What?
Orcs are primitive, savage, numerous beyond measure, and one of the most integral aspects of Warhammer 40,000. In this video, we'll take a look at orc history in the Milky Way, their culture, and their unique...
Wow.
Waaagh.
Orcs did not have a natural creation, but instead were originally engineered by the Old Ones, an ancient, technologically advanced race.
Did we know that?
To help them combat
You know about the
their
old
enemies,
ones.
I know about the
namely
old
the
one.
Necrons.
Didn't they also make humanity? I think they made like a seed for humanity.
Oh yeah, they made different races. Yeah, they made all types of different races just to like do it, right? I believe so.
No, they made the human race to go against the new god.
The Elder. They made many. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eldar.
But I thought
made
they specifically made the human race with the warrior type of esque, but to go against the new gods or something like that when they were during the war between them.
I don't remember. I don't remember much.
Oh no, it wasn't the new gods. Was it the warrior boys called?
Warrior boys.
No, the robot boys.
Necrons.
Necrons.
They
They just forgot the fit the orcs with the off switch.
With an
Yeah.
on and off switch, yeah.
Dude, the Necrons just got a bad bargain.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
they did.
Let's continue.
The original orcs created by the Old Ones were called the Krork, and they were
Krork.
made to be essentially living weapons.
Mhm.
Aggressive, dim-witted, and strong, some standing as tall as 12 meters.
Oh,
It's believed that specific knowledge was built into their genetic codes, such as how to build simple machinery, as well as a collaborative psychic ability that I'll discuss later.
Big boys.
The Old Ones ultimately lost their war, and
Krork.
orcs would eventually descend into the multitudes of different orc subspecies.
oh, good. They're not gone.
Orc physiology is quite unique, essentially a fusion of both animal and fungus.
Oh.
Orcs are grown, not born, as
What?
each subspecies grows from
They're
Really?
grown.
That's crazy. I could just grow an orc in my backyard.
Dude, you don't have to spend much on the tabletop game. He's gonna grow some more.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some cheetah pets up in here.
Yeah.
A 36-foot tall orc would be something to see. It'd be horrifying.
Yeah.
They are
They
a fungus.
fungus.
The longer an orc lives and wins fights, it gets larger.
So, okay, so the bigger the orc, the longer the life it lived, like a tree.
They get bigger. Like
They grow like a
plants
fungus.
do.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
that, I
So
swear-
once they still move, they still grow like a normal fungus
dude,
would.
that's fun.
And in the orc society, I believe, like, obviously the strongest one's the leader. So I feel like if you're stronger, you get perceived as bigger, I believe. I think. I'm not too sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's it. So the stronger you are, all the orcs will look at you as big, and you will get bigger.
Do they ever go through like a childhood phase, or do they just grow into the
Sure.
normal size?
Right? I mean, plants grow.
You
right?
see
They
a
start
bunch of
small.
orcs.
They grow slowly with age, but grow at a faster rate after battles.
Fire,
So
dude.
they bathe in their blood and grow.
It's just like Pokemon, bro. They fight, they gain XP, they get.
Oh, I thought you meant like go bathe in there.
They grow up in spores. Okay.
spores that develop underground. Some grow into
They're
more
not-
simple fungi used as a food source.
They grow from spores.
Others grow into different life forms, such as squigs, snotlings, Gretchen, or orcs, which are all
Wigs.
technically part of the
Snotlings?
orcoid family.
I'm a
Squigs are the
snotling.
most basic.
Oh,
intelligent life
we're learning
forms
about
in the orcoid family.
Okay, I want to go back.
Why?
Twigs. What?
Squigs are the most basic intelligent life forms
Look,
in the
you for real.
orcoid family,
I never seen that before.
coming in many different
Never seen
varieties
that.
that are used for food, warfare, or other strange purposes, such as providing hair.
That one has a good fashion.
Snotlings are diminutive
Ugh.
orcoids,
Like
resembling
gremlins.
what would commonly be called a goblin,
Oh,
and work as caretakers for the fungi and the squigs, while also serving as pets for larger orcs. Gretchen, or grots, are similar to snotlings, being smaller and weaker than orcs, and are generally used for menial tasks that orcs would rather not do. Orcs are at the top of the food chain and are the primary fighting group.
Okay, they're
among the
so
orc-
sick.
Yeah,
I didn't realize all the subdivisions.
remember, these are all the same species.
Uh-huh.
They're
Yeah.
just, I guess, like every mushroom is the same. Like they're all mushrooms,
They're all
but they
mushrooms.
all live to grow in different places,
Different races.
different races depending on the area they grow in.
Yeah. The area,
I would say like it depends on the.
they're sick.
Yeah.
That whole orcs, crazy cool.
orcoids. Their unique physiology gives them a number of advantages in war, including a very strong muscular system, thick, dense bones, and the replacement of their internal organs with a sort of fungal soup.
Oh my god.
Their fungal nature allows them to survive from grievous injuries that would easily kill a human, up to and including stitching their whole bodies back together.
Oh my.
And it's believed they can also photosynthesize.
That's crazy.
When encountering a
can-
new planet, orcoid spores are spread across the surface constantly by adult orcs, growing into the different orcoid species, who establish a new orcoid society there. It's said that a world touched by orcs will practically always be plagued by them, since it's very difficult to eradicate all of the spores.
That's crazy. Okay.
It's wild.
Orcs are, of course, the dominant group amongst the orcoids. They too follow a hierarchy and caste system,
Look at him.
with many different varieties amongst them. At the top is the war boss, generally the largest orc within a tribe or
Yeah.
a war band,
Mm.
since orcs continue to grow as they age and succeed in battle. Orcs have a strong
Wait, pause it.
tendency to fight amongst themselves.
Fun fact: there was a wait, what? Maggie.
Magic.
Wait, I don't know what this.
Magic.
Magibologist. Magibologist. I don't know how to pronounce that. You go.
Maggie Biologist. Just read it. It doesn't matter. From the Adeptus Mechanicus, which found out they could be killed with some pesticides, but the information never reached anyone.
Sag.
If any orcs beheaded and survives, it can either have the head reattached to an old body or another orc's body if theirs was destroyed.
But that's crazy. They can swap
So they
bodies.
could just hijack anybody they want
Yeah.
if it's orc. Imagine the body of a regular orc and a little body.
a little snotling.
You'd be pissed off at the orc though. ain't
I'd be
you?
mad too.
You'd be
Right?
like, what the?
Can they all do that? Surely. All
I
the
think they're all the
orcs?
same. Just look
As much
different.
as they fight others, but they will rally around a strong enough war boss. Beneath the war boss are the odd boys,
Odd boy.
orcs that are grown with specific knowledge built into their DNA,
Oh.
making them capable of performing tasks that other orcs simply cannot. There are 4 main groups of odd boys. Mech boys, who know how to build guns, vehicles, and machines. Pain boys, who
Like
know
you
how to
named
fix
them.
injuries and wounds.
Dumb.
Weird boys, who know how to channel psychic energy into violent outbursts.
Weird.
And run thirds,
Oh.
who know how to breed snotlings and Gretchen. For all
Oh,
of
they're
the
just the
odd boys,
smarties.
It's not a position an orc can work towards, but instead they are either
The orc
born with
that-
the knowledge
The orc like led the attack of Armageddon in Hell's Reach was shot in the head and lost half his brain, and it only made him smarter.
The dumber they are, the stronger they are.
No, but he got shot and half his head was.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
odd.
think about it like a plant. When you cut off a branch,
Yeah.
it grows a new one that's stronger. Or if a tree is not in an environment where there's wind, then it won't be as strong. But when it's windy, the roots develop even more to make the tree stable and stronger.
So what happens if you don't really kill the orc all the way? You just shoot him in the head to destroy the whole brain. Once it grows back every time throughout a while, would it get like as smart as a person?
No. I think it's just built into genes that it won't be as smart as humans, but they're just going to get smart as they go on, but it will probably cap at a certain point.
Hmm.
Their killing potential will probably go up way more, though, instead of their smartness. Unless you're a word boy.
A weird. A word
Or
boy.
knots. Beneath them are the knobs,
Oh.
members of orcs that are simply physically larger than most other orcs, and therefore usually command more respect. They will often lead groups
Knobs.
of orcs and take the best pick of found weapons and armor. Finally are the boys, the most common group of orcs,
The boys.
smaller than knobs, but still highly deadly and savage in mass. Boys will often fall into different subgroups based on their specialties in
They're the
combat,
boys.
There's the
such as the
Ultramarines.
Burna boys that utilize flame weapons,
It's to the
Born a
cranky
the
boys.
Storm boys that use
Yeah,
jetpacks,
we're orcs.
biker boys that
No, it's
ride
just us.
motorbikes,
Biker boy.
or commandos that specialize in stealth.
Biker boys.
Different groups of different types of orcs will comprise a war band, usually led by a war boss, and a number of war bands will often be joined together as part of a single tribe. Tribes will often fight other tribes if they're not fighting enemies, and so positions will constantly switch around as tribes
He got so smart he can speak High Gothic with the elite language of the Imperium that only about 35% of the Imperium can even speak.
Okay, so there goes the theory. They're gonna get intelligent as hell, which is crazy.
And the cranky boy who watched videos.
Yeah.
The cranky boy.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
We have yet to achieve our fungal form.
We're just there, dude.
We're
We're
just-
just like, guys, prepare for combat. What about those three?
We're watching all the
We're just there.
past wars.
the way it was the camera pointing at them, and we're just
We're
camera.
just tacticians, though.
Yeah.
We're actually gaining all the knowledge of every
Old war.
war, every species and faction. We're just yet to be unleashed.
We're yet to be deployed on our mission.
True.
That-
We don't even get killed by the enemy. They just like.
Cranky boy
We
stuff.
don't even fight, bro. We just write books to the commanders.
Yeah.
This is what you need to do.
conquer one another. Beyond this, though, orcs will almost always belong to a specific clan, of which there
Look at
are
his
supposedly many, but really only 6 significant ones. An orc clan is joined together by a mutual philosophy, or way of life. The Bad Moons clan, for example, functions as something akin to a
That's a
merchant
weird
class,
axe.
As weapons, the
while
checkers
the
board.
Evil Suns clan
I
shares
was
a love
saying
of
that.
fast vehicles. An orc might be a part of countless tribes throughout their life, but they carry a much stronger bond to a single clan. Orcs worship 2 deities, Gork and Mork.
Yo!
It's said that
Gork and
Gork
Mork.
is brutal but cunning, while Mork is cunning but brutal,
Okay.
making them mostly interchangeable. The orcs say that Gork and Mork are in a perpetual battle between one another, and exist in the warp, much like the Chaos Gods.
It's just fighting.
The average orc lifestyle
That's
revolves
funny.
around violence, and so it's deeply ingrained in their society and culture. Orcs sweep across the galaxy, spreading spores everywhere they go, and fighting everything they meet, including themselves. If left unchecked, and if they managed to unite to any significant degree, there would be little that could stop the orc hordes. They outnumber practically every other species in existence, save perhaps for the Tyranids.
Interesting to see.
Orcs
But
Pyramids taking over orcs.
Oh, you mean the Gene Stealers?
Yeah.
Gene Stealers taking over orcs.
Like I want to see something like that.
I feel like either way, the orc would just kill his homie for no reason, though.
No, yeah, but the
Regardless.
pyramids could kill everyone, take over anyone, just take over the whole planet. So what happens if you do that to every one of their colonies?
have we watched a video like this on Tyranids?
We watched
No.
the Tyranid one.
Yeah.
No, all we watched was the short stories from Warrior Tier about the
Orcs
Tyranids
love to
attacks.
fight. Yep. Fighting for an orc is like eating for them. They need to fight to stay
Yeah.
alive.
This one orc got bored of fighting on Armageddon because it was taking too long, so he left and picked a fight with the Tyranid and got bored and left when he was winning too much.
That's
So they get
crazy.
bored easily if they don't get
Okay,
challenged.
so like, how should we just bred someone different?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Picture an orc going to a supermarket.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
can't
Oh,
afford.
hello. I would like to get
I'd like to just start beating them up.
Yeah.
This guy can't fight. He killed half of them.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, dude.
So they can't. They have no choice but to fight.
It's been tried. The orcs can tell if another orc's infected by Tyranid and kill it instantly. Lord!
They're
Really?
act fundamentally different. Like, remember when the Jane Stealers.
Their only problem is them fighting each other.
Yeah. Yeah, because remember, Jane Stealers picked the human. You could tell that guy wasn't right just by
Big bro's eyes.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
imagine an orc. The orc is like orcs, orc, and then they just kill each other, you know?
Yeah, but even with the human, they could still hide that.
Yeah, no, because humans are intelligent. They're like, maybe he's having an off day.
Yeah.
And then they just go on with their day because they do not care. These guys are pure instincts. They're like, oh, this guy's different. Dead.
Yeah.
You know?
I was there with you. We grew up together in the same plantation.
Plantation.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're
Moss
pretty cool, bro.
fields.
You're pretty cool.
Wage
hear
war using
sarcasm.
a number of different weapons and machines, from basic melee weapons to giant ramshackle mechs
Plantation.
covered in large guns. Any sort of crude melee weapon, such as a sharpened piece of scrap metal, is called a choppa, while larger variants, sometimes outfitted with whirring chainsaw blades, are called big choppas.
Yeah,
Top of-
and dude, check
Basic
my
ranged
boys.
weapon for most orcs is called a slugga.
Slugga.
Generally a semi-automatic pistol that fires large caliber bullets, and many boys carry both a choppa and a slugga.
That's right.
Burna boys carry stripped-down flame weapons
Yo!
called burnas.
Damn.
Bonus.
Rocket boys
Look
carry
at him.
rocket launches, and shooter boys use very loud automatic firearms called, as you might have guessed, shooters.
Shooters.
Variants and
Pass me the
combinations
shooters.
exist of all of these, plus many others, and there's no uniform design for any of them, as mech boys will piece together whatever they can into weaponry and
Fire is the only permanent way to deal with orcs and their spores. Now I'm wondering, do orcs battles involve fire smell like fried mushroom?
Oh my god.
You know, it might not be such a bad war after all.
No matter how many orcs you mow down, and another will sprout up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Man, how's we screwed?
Well, probably to get rid of them entirely if you want to save your home.
Destroy the planet.
Well, not destroy the planet, but
Yeah.
incinerate it.
Blast it.
So destroy the planet.
But not like break it, destroy it. Not like explode.
Yeah, you want to blast the planet.
Okay. You had to say
But
that?
you would have to evacuate everyone.
Yeah, you would.
You would.
Including the orcs.
Okay.
Maybe they
You're just in
know
your
what
spaceship
you're
and they
trying to do.
sprout right there in the crack.
machinery. Crude orc analogs exist for practically anything else you'd expect to see in an army, including tanks, planes, and
Look at him.
helicopters, as well as stuff you might not
And
expect to see,
helicopters.
such as motorcycles. Overall, most orcs care more about how loud, fast, or explosive something is than how actually effective it is. The real trick, though, is how the orcs actually manage to utilize all of this unsafe and questionable technology.
What's happening
Look
with
at
him?
him.
He's being sucked in.
Oh, because the other part of the gun is like a little jet engine on the end. He's gonna get shot out. I mean, like, remember, the smaller orcs, well, the small boys, do not really care to the orcs. The orcs are like, oh, they're fair to me. I can use them however I want. They be my pet, they be my weapon. I can just kill them.
Yeah.
You know? That's the way it goes.
Oh. Poor guy.
As it differs from every other species in the Milky Way. I mentioned earlier that orcs possess a collaborative psychic ability.
Oh, yes.
This is really the key to how the orcs continue to function. This psychic field is called the Waaaghh, although pronunciation
Waaaghh.
is a little tricky since it's typically roared at full volume.
Ah.
The Waaaghh has a number of different effects, including allowing the weird
Is that why he said
channel
Waaaghh?
the
Yeah.
ambient psychic energy from fellow orcs.
They use the
main
small
thing,
orcs as
however, is that It
ammo.
allows orc technology to function simply if the orcs believe it will function. As an example, many of their guns are simply filled with random bolts and bits of metal inside, But since they're in the form of a gun, and the orc believes it will shoot bullets, it does.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
When someone else, such as a human, attempts to use orc technology, it fails to function completely.
Wow, that's so
Respect.
interesting.
Interesting.
This effect extends across all of the orc technology, and many modifications are done by orcs because they believe that they will make a difference.
Aw.
Again, as an example, since orcs believe that painting a vehicle red makes it go faster, their red vehicles do go faster. This psychically functioning technology allows the mech
That's so
to
fire, dude.
practically
That's
anything
so
to make new weapons and
weird.
vehicles, and can repair destroyed machines dozens of times, and they'll still function. This psychic field also leads into the second definition of Waaagh. Orcs require battle the way we require water, and so most of the time they carry out small skirmishes against other orc tribes or any other enemies they can get their hands on. These are very small scale, however, and the orc population will continue to grow until it reaches a critical point, when the shared psychic field, fueled by aggression,
They use the power of
brings all the
imagination to
orcs on the
win.
planet together, and they launch into a warpath.
Pay yourself
The
purple,
psychic field
and
allows
you're
each orc to
sneaky.
recognize who is the biggest among them, who then becomes the war boss of the Waaagh, sweeping war that the orcs carry out. Following the war boss, orcs begin spreading across a system in a wave of bloodlust and carnage, wiping out everything in sight until they eventually take enough losses that the Waaagh ends. The greatest Waaagh in history was led by a war boss known only as the Beast, a highly intelligent orc that managed
That's a teleporter gun. It shoots Gretchen, little subspecies, into the warp, and then repair inside the target.
Reappear
inside the target. Imagine the Gretchen exploding out of your stomach while you're inside a tank.
Oh my god.
That's fucking crazy. That's stupid, crazy, broken though.
They are a broken species.
Yeah.
They could go however they want. They could use the power of imagination to win. And they just get bigger whenever they win.
They repopulate crazy like that too. They just passively repopulate.
Oh my god.
Waaagh.
They're
That's
almost
so crazy, Lone Courier, to think about.
sometimes the Gretchen ends up fused into the wall or the ground though too. It's random.
Okay, it's a
So it's not
RNG.
specific, but still.
So if my man does a high roll and instantly kills a space marine.
Oh my god, okay.
Roll for initiative.
It was later revealed that the Beast was in fact 6 individual orcs that each commanded a legion of orcs. The Imperium of Mankind took massive losses while stopping the Beast's Waaagh, and it's only a matter of time before another Waaagh of similar size will occur. Orcs aren't a complicated species. Their lives revolving around fighting and more fighting, making them a pretty clear enemy to practically every other species. Some people may raise an eyebrow when first learning about Warhammer 40k and discovering that one of the principal species is just orcs, a familiar trope in fantasy, but not one usually seen in science fiction. Orcs in 40k certainly stand on their own, however, and although they have a tendency to become comic relief in some situations due to their Cockney accents and love of
Cockney?
loud guns,
Yeah.
orcs are
They're
nonetheless
British.
a savage and ruthless threat.
Oxys is never defeated in battle. If we win, we win. If we die fighting, so it don't count. If we run for it, we don't die neither. Because we can come back for another go. See?
Yeah.
Orcs fight for fun. Everyone else fights for survival.
That's true.
Okay, something different, bro.
I think that's it.
The pretty much bang on your accent. The end of the war of the beasts scared the shit out of the Imperium, and an actual diplomat showed up knowing High Gothic and spoke to the High Lords of Terra. He spoke with sophistication. Wasn't bad. I think your accent
I think
wasn't
you're an
bad.
orc, Zeus.
Sophistication.